Action JC527 of 2024, Newbold versus Bonamy.
Plaintiff Sherilyn Newbold is claiming $3,060 for car repairs and car rental fees after she says the defendant dragged his feet getting her car back up and running. Defendant Cyril Birdeye Bonamy claims the defendant owes him $1,000 for work completed and denies that he owes the plaintiff anything for rental fees.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Carol Munnings presiding. You may be seated. Your Honor, the parties have already been sworn in and ready to proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Corporal. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay. This matter is between Ms. Sherilyn Newbold. That's you?
Sherilyn Newbold, yes,
Sherilyn
ma'am.
Newbold. You are bringing a claim against Mr. Cyril Birdeye Bonamy for car repairs that were not done, car rental fees in the amount, and the total amount is $3,060, correct?
Just a little minor note, ma'am.
Yes.
No rental fees, but my transmission was supposed to get fixed by his auto shop.
lying.
All right, and
no.
how much?
lying.
Just a moment. Well, I'm going to get to the evidence in a moment.
Just wanted to clarify, ma'am, that it wasn't
Well,
no
what
rental.
I'd like you to clarify, how much are you claiming?
$510, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Bonamy, you say you don't owe Ms. Newbold anything, and you claim that you did start work on the car, and you are seeking $1,000 for work completed.
Mom, let me tell you something.
How much money are you claiming?
Me the $1,000.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, the way this is going to work is that I'm going to hear the evidence, right, from you, and then I will hear the evidence from you, Mr. Bonamy, and then once I get the facts, then I'll be able to make a decision. So because we are in court, I can only hear one person at a time. So no interrupting, please, Mr. Bonamy, when it's her turn. Wonderful. Yes, ma'am. Tell me about this claim now. What kind of car was it?
So this was a 2007 Honda Accord, right? So
Yes.
I'd already bought the vehicle, but it needed a new transmission. I was getting it for my nephew. He just graduated high school. I was so excited for him. But my sister, you know, she ain't really got too much. So I said, well, I can help out.
So
well,
you bought the car for your nephew?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
A
ma'am.
2007 Honda
Accord.
You
It
bought
was
a
supposed to help-
2007 Honda Accord? He graduated from where?
High school. It's a used car, ma'am. Used car.
I see. Okay.
Right.
I didn't know you used to get cars like that when you just graduate from high school.
Well,
Okay.
he
All
did
right.
really
Anyway,
well.
He's a special nephew.
He's a special nephew. He
Okay.
did really, really well. And my
And-
sister is
Special.
single.
So,
So it's supposed to be a 3.0 transmission, ma'am, right? Well, King's Auto, this bird-eye grease monkey Bonamy right here, ma'am. That's his name. King's Auto is the place that he owns. He said that he was going to sell me the transmission, the 3.0 transmission to go in my Honda Accord for $400. No
Yes.
problem. No problem. I say, okay, transmission's a little bit more expensive than that. I thought, now, ma'am, I don't know nothing about mechanics, part of my ignorance, right? But that sounded pretty good, $400. So I said, okay, sure. You see that smooth face right there? He was nice in the beginning. Nice in the beginning. I paid my money, right?
How much did you pay him?
I paid him $400 at first for the
Okay.
transmission. I then find out when I take it to my mechanic of choice, Mario. You won't know him. When I didn't take it to Mario, right? Mario was trying to put the transmission in the car so the car could run.
So
just
you
to
bought the transmission from Mr. Bonamy and took it to Mario to put in the car.
because I trusted Mario, and Mario didn't have the transmission to buy. See, I know him, that's why I gone to him.
Okay.
So
And then what happened?
as he was putting in the transmission, there's this like apparatus or something called a flywheel, right? Without the flywheel in the transmission ain't gonna work, the car ain't gonna drive. Now,
Okay.
I don't know these parts. Like I say, I don't know nothing about these things. So my boy, Mario, my mechanic, tell me, hold on, you just buy this from King's Auto, but this flywheel don't even match this transmission.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Carroll.
Somebody from King's Auto done mess with the flywheel before selling you the transmission.
What's going on? Anyway, call the police. So they tell me this lady trying to break into my place.
Mr. Bonamy.
So I sell her
Mr. Bonamy,
transmission.
hold
really
on,
wicked.
hold on.
Justice with Judge Carroll is brought to you by Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store.
To get your case heard, call 242-445-4955 or email us at info@judgecarroll.net.
We've heard you. We know you're tired of the reruns. We're coming back, bigger and better, on The Legal Brief. I'm your host, Ramona Farquharson. Stay tuned.
Justice with Judge Carroll.
Somebody from King's Auto done mess with the flywheel before selling you the transmission. Okay, I then had to buy a flywheel.
Right.
That was $90.
Where did you get that from?
What's that place? Cartwright's or something like that? I can't remember
Okay,
exactly.
so you went.
I
so how come
personally went because my mechanic said this the year.
And he
this the
sent you
kind.
for it? Okay, all right. Yeah.
Because
so
I
you went
pay
and
for
got it.
everything, you see.
And then what happened? Did the car get fixed? What happened
So,
with
so
the
then
car?
after the flywheel was installed, the car still ain't work, right? So I go on back to King's Auto, and I.
And how long did all of this take? I mean, from when you took the car to Mario.
About a month, cause it took a little while for him to finally try to install the transmission. It took about
Okay.
2 weeks for me to even get the
Did you
transmission
go back
from
to
King's Auto.
Did you go back to Bonamy to ask him about the flywheel?
I did.
Okay.
And Bonamy
then-
said that he don't know anything about it. Maybe some of the guys in the back was fixing, but it was unknown to me. I don't know who these people were that fixed this flywheel. I didn't even know what a flywheel was to even know that a flywheel was needed.
Okay. And how much was that?
The flywheel additional that I had to pay was $90. Now, I had to pay him, Bird Eye, King's Auto, $400. Now, I did pay my mechanic, Mario.
Okay.
That was
you
another
paid Mario how much?
That was another $410. Just for him to tell me that what I get
And
from
you paid
King's Auto.
Newbold how much?
I'm Newbold, ma'am, but I paid Bonamy $400 for the transmission. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And so you are trying to get back the
At least my money.
$400 that you paid
You know,
to
I mean,
him.
I may not be much to somebody who own a business, but you know.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can understand what you were saying, Mr. Bonamy.
Oh, grease monkey.
Spawn, how you doing? How you doing, ma?
I'm great.
You related to the Duncan?
Stand up, sir. Stand up.
Sorry.
No,
Anyway,
nobody
ma.
has ever asked me that question.
Sure, you look like them.
No, sir.
All right. Anyway, Mom, let me start off. I don't even know who this woman is. You want me to tell you how to
I
start?
don't believe
So,
this.
I wake up, my phone ringing 4 o'clock in the morning,
No, sir.
right?
No, sir.
Somebody, no, this all happened for real. So someone say, oh, someone trying to get into your business, someone trying to break in your business. I say, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, call the police. So they tell me this lady trying to break into my place.
Mr. Bonamy.
So I sell
Mr.
her
Bonamy,
transmission
hold
really
on,
wicked.
hold on one moment. Hold on. This is not the place. Sir, this is not the place for fairy tales. We are not in kindergarten, okay? We are not in kindergarten. So don't come and tell me a fairy tale story about someone calling you at 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's get to the business of the matter, please. Okay? Because we're not going anywhere with that story. So, she says that you sold her the transmission for $400. You have a receipt, ma'am, for the sale?
Yes, ma'am, I did give it to the court, but I don't have it presently with me, ma'am. But I did file it.
Okay.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
you got...
Just for King's Auto. That's the only receipt I have, ma'am.
For four, and when did you get
400.
this?
So this was back in February, eh? Wait, was it
Why-
June
no,
now?
wait. See, you don't know when you bought it? Well, when was the
No, so the graduation is this month. And so I did buy the car back in February, and I was told I needed a transmission. So I got the transmission. It had to have been around that same time, because it took them about
Okay,
a month
you
before they
got-
even look at it.
Yes. Okay, so you got the transmission, you took it to this other person to fix it. It needed an additional part.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes,
Which
ma'am.
you then went and purchased and gave it to the other mechanic.
Yes, ma'am.
So then the car was operational after that.
It was never operational, ma'am.
It was never
It
operational.
never worked.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Carroll.
See, a lot of fellas wait for me. Maybe I
That's it
wasn't
right there. See, a
soft,
bunch
but
of guys was toying with this transmission. That's why he can't tell me. He can't tell me who to mess up the flywheel. I did go back and tell you about it, and that's when Your Honor, that's when he said that some of the...
Justice with Judge Carroll is brought to you by Donald's Furniture.
Love the show and want to sit in on the action? Call 242-445-4955 or email info@judgecarroll.net. Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better. Justice with Judge Carroll.
I don't understand. If you sold her a transmission, Mr. Bonamy,
You better admit that.
No, I don't know.
if you
Like I
sold
told
her
you,
a
I don't-
transmission,
See, a lot of fellas wait for me. Maybe I
That's it
wasn't
right
in the
there.
store,
See, a bunch
but
of
they-
guys was toying with this transmission. That's why he can't tell me. He can't tell me who to mess up the flywheel.
but I'm a little, let me tell you what my concern is right here. You got the transmission, and then you had to get a flywheel. Now, I'm not a mechanic either,
Yes,
okay?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm only going based off of what you're telling me. But if you got a transmission, then there was this other part that was missing that you needed, right? And you can assist me, Mr. Bonamy, with this. But if you needed an additional part,
You should have
Then
come to
it's-
me.
well, beside that, I mean, it doesn't seem as though then the problem was the transmission. The problem was it needed an additional part, which you didn't go back to him,
No, ma'am, I didn't.
right? So then he may have had the additional part if you needed it, and then he could have finished fixing it there one time.
Ma'am, he
but
told-
you took the transmission from him. You took your vehicle to somebody else. You went to somebody else to fix the car. Now you're coming back to him for a transmission which you still have.
But ma'am, he already
No,
told...
ma'am, but nothing. It's very straightforward. You can't go to him, buy the transmission, then go to somebody else, then whatever other story you have going on with the other person and the other part that you got, you still have the transmission. Did you go back to him with the transmission to say this was no good?
No.
Yes, I did. After I had to pay the additional $90 for the flywheel from I did go back and tell you about it, and that's when Your Honor, that's when he
Excuse me,
said
ma'am.
that some of the...
Excuse me. I didn't ask you if you went back to him. What I asked you was if you carried the transmission back to him, which you didn't, and therefore, he doesn't owe you anything because you got from him. My goodness, I already said to you, sir, we are not in kindergarten, so don't be making monkey faces in this courtroom, because then that is a disrespect to this court. And if you're going to do foolishness like this, then I will make an order for you to pay costs.
Apologize, Your Honor.
Thank you. Stand up straight. Unfortunately, madam, I am not satisfied on the evidence that you have presented that this gentleman owes you any money for any part that he provided to you, and therefore the case for the plaintiff is dismissed.
Rise.
His body is the jury.
Firm, fair, and just. Judge Carroll has ruled in favor of the defendant.
Well, we are in court, and I do have to give deference to the judge, but I do feel as if I've still been swindled.
Box anyone but King's order. We've been open for 40 plus years.
Oh, well.
Kind of business.